Hey guys, a little help from Kim here. As you know, I work all things real estate and I work with a lot of home buyers and home owners. And what I find is they are really confused about solar. They're shopping for a house with solar. How does that affect them? How does that affect their mortgage? What's that going to do for them long term? So, quick tips if you're out home shopping. I actually brought my solar expert, Kristen, in to
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about it. And I collected some questions. Thanks for everybody that messaged me or actually posted online to my Facebook request for some questions. And so here we go. Why bother? That was the good one, and we're going to start with that. Why bother? So how much of a difference will the panels make on an electricity bill, first off?
So typically, we're going to save probably about 30 to 40%. That's going to be your average savings with solar on a residential home in the Antelope Valley.
Okay. So if they're out home shopping, can they request that the seller have the solar panels removed and buy the house without solar if it's already there?
Removed? No. It's a contract, and it either gets assumed or it gets assumed basically by the new homeowner. There's some companies that will negotiate certain types of things, but getting it removed in 5.5 years, I haven't seen it get removed. Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Okay, so if you're home shopping and the home already has solar, you're going to buy the home with the solar, assume whatever loan or terms or lease that they have on there. Can they negotiate to have all of them paid off with the seller?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can do it. You can do it with a lease. You can do it with a purchase. That is absolutely a possibility to have it paid off.
So even if you're shopping for a home and there's a lease on it, you can negotiate with the seller to have that lease paid off.
It'll be paid off to the end of the term. So if it's a 20-year lease, they can request that it's prepaid, and then that new homeowner will have the option to have it removed at the end of the term, renegotiate, or purchase that existing system.
Okay, cool. Okay. So that brings us to what's the difference between buying the panels, paying for them over time like you do a car, and then owning them, versus leasing.
So I could spend about an hour just on this topic alone, but I'm going to narrow it down to 30 seconds.
Well, you can have a minute.
I can have a minute?
If you want,
Okay,
because
cool.
it's big.
Right.
They're
It is
home
big.
shopping.
Yeah, it is big. It's huge. So a purchase, you get the tax credit. That's the biggest thing, okay? The tax credit comes to you, the buyer, and it adds value to your home. It protects your roof. There's a million different benefits to purchasing a system as opposed to leasing it. Now, depending on someone's credit situation or federal tax liability, that's where leases come into play. Leases are for someone that can't take advantage of the federal tax incentive, and so it's better than what the utility's doing, but it is a lease. So you are, in essence, renting it. You're not owning it. The payment is not fixed. It does have a small accelerator on it, better than the utility company. But still, the biggest thing is when you purchase, you can take advantage of the tax credit. When you lease, the leasing company gets the tax credit.
Okay, got it. So before we get into like a range of payments, when you buy it, there's a couple different types of ways to finance it. If you don't lease it, you're going to buy it.
Correct.
And if you buy it, you can do consumer credit like you would a car payment.
Correct.
Or you can do this hero loan that we hear a lot about.
The PACE program, absolutely.
So what is that?
So a purchase is just straight based off your credit profile. It's a 650 FICO score or higher. There's a 50% debt to income, which we can go over. I think you're going to go over that. But sometimes people have challenged credit or they have more equity in their home. And so a PACE program is based off the equity in their home and not so much their credit profile or FICO score. And so you make that payment just like you do your property taxes. So it's based along the same line. You make a payment twice a year. The payment you make goes into an impound account and it's paid through your property taxes basically. But a PACE program is based off the equity in your home. That's how you get the loan. They consider you made your mortgage payment on time, and that's considered your credit, so to speak.
Okay, got it. So it's fair to say that if you're an existing homeowner and you're thinking about solar, you definitely want to reach out to Kristen, find out the financing options before you jump into anything. If you're shopping for a home and they have solar on there, we need to find out whether it's leased, whether you're going to be purchasing it from consumer or whether or not it has a PACE and HERO program on it. Because coming from the lending standpoint, if it has a PACE and a HERO program on it, it must be paid off before escrow closes. Mortgage companies will not follow through and allow that to stay on the tax roll, like Kristen was saying. So there is some information that we can discuss there if you have further questions about it. But just know a lot of times the sellers will be paying that off. If there is solar, just clarify. With your realtor, they should be able to get more information on that. Another big thing where I'm going to chime in doing mortgages is a lot of times people don't know anything about solar, which is why we're doing this quick help from Kim video, but they start looking at homes that have solar, and I've qualified them at the top, which means I don't have a lot of wiggle room to expand into a higher payment for them. But when they already have solar on the property and you're looking at assuming it, I'm having to include that in your debt to income ratio, which could price you right out of affording that home. So it would be fair to say that maybe the payments range from $60 a month to $250 a month.
Correct. I mean, yeah, absolutely. The average payment probably out here is $140 to $160, give or take.
Okay, so that's not bad if you think about what you're paying your electric company now. If you're thinking even up to $200 a month is probably saving you money. My last bill before Kristen put solar in was about $700 at the end of last summer. And we don't run our air a whole lot.
Right.
It was insane the way it went. So heads up, if you have been pre-qualified, you want to check with your lender and see how much room you have to assume any sort of solar payment before you jump into a contract and waste your time and fall in love with that perfect house and then find out that maybe you don't qualify for it. That is true stories. I've had that happen. Just have a conversation with your agent up front. Make sure your lender is involved. Make sure you're discussing what type of solar it is, what that looks like for your financing options, and what that looks like for your monthly payments to make sure that it makes sense for you and your family as well. How much to maintain these guys? So if we purchase a home and they're already on there, do I have to have somebody come out and check them? Are there warranties? Do I have to pay?
So with Coda Energy Group, we've partnered with Solar Clean, who's the local Todd Graves. We include 2 years of panel cleaning with our system for every person that purchases. So you get a chance to meet and greet with him and build a relationship with him, and then he always gives our clients like an extreme good, fair, discounted price to continue that relationship with them. So on average, the home systems out here are about 24 to 28 panels. It's probably going to run you about $150 a year.
To have it clean.
Yes, and you want to keep them clean because your production is only better and better every time we keep them clean. Hopefully the rain will keep it clean periodically throughout the year, but a good scrub to get all the gunk and goo off.
Okay, so are all solar jobs the same?
Absolutely not.
So if I told you I had a 1,700 square foot house, would you mentally just know how many to put on, or would you need to?
Absolutely not. If I could do that, I could call the winning lottery numbers every time, and I wish we could do that. It'd make a lot more people happy. But the thing is I could have 4 homes, exactly the same square footage, exactly 4 people in the home, but no one lives identically. Nobody lives the same. And so I can have 4 different system sizes with the exact same situation going on in each home. Some people shut off light switches, some people never do. Some people run at 60 degrees, some people run at 78 degrees in the summer. So there's a lot of variables and factors that, yes, there is an average, and I can give people a ballpark if they're really pressing for that. But I always disclaimer it with, I've got to know what your exact situation is, so I need a utility bill, and I can figure that out in 10 minutes.
I think it's fair to say that we've all heard horror stories where people have paid to put the solar in and then get thousands and thousands of dollars from the utility company because they didn't produce as much solar. And I think what you're saying is it's customized to your lifestyle as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And there probably are companies out there
that
do not customize to people and don't look at their utility bills.
You have to ask fact-finding questions. You know, when I come into your home, I'm going to spend at least an hour with you because I need to ask are you comfortable now? What's your plan? My job is to plan for you for the next 20, 25 years. And if I don't ask the right questions to determine that, then you're going to end up with a bill at the end of the year, which I do not want that phone call.
Okay. So 2 things. Initially, when you go on solar, you freeze your production electricity bill with the Edison Company and pay a hookup fee of about $13 a month.
Correct.
At the end of your first 12 months and every 12 months after that you're on solar, you'll get a negotiating bill that says you either owe me or we're going to pay you.
Correct.
Okay. So if I buy a house and there's not enough panels on, and I decide I didn't like that $1,000 bill because whoever put these panels on was crazy,
Correct.
and I want to put more, is that an option?
Absolutely, it's an option.
So you can always add to.
We just added a system. In fact, a good example of that is the example that you gave. And a lot of the new homes, especially in Lancaster, that have solar already on them, they have starter system sizes to where it comes with solar. So it'll come with 6, 8, or 10 panels. And that's not large enough for most people. Out here in the AV, it's hot, and people need probably 20 to 30 panels, depending on the home and what they're doing. So a lot of those systems, we do add-on systems for them consistently, especially this time of year. So it's absolutely a possibility, not a problem at all.
Okay. So that being said, then new homes, if I was to buy a new track home, what would happen? Would they give me solar?
Well, it depends where you're at. Right now in Lancaster, every new home comes with solar. Palmdale's following. By the year 2020, the state of California is requiring everyone to have solar, and it'll have a minimal system size that your home will come with it. And then you have the option to expand. If you don't, and you see what the home comes with, and it's not large enough, then absolutely we can come back and add on for you. Not a problem.
Okay, very good. So are they worth it?
Absolutely, they're worth it. It's a fixed payment.
Why are you selling solar? Why do you believe in it?
Why do I believe in it? Because I love helping people save money. We all work hard for our money, especially out here in the state of California. And it seems like the money keeps flying out of our pockets quicker than we can blink. And this is one way where you can finally, after all these years, have a choice, take control of your energy costs, and at the same time help the environment so we can make a carbon footprint.
It's my solar gal, Kristen.
Kristen, Coda Energy Group.
Thanks, guys. This was your Help from Kim video. If I can help you with anything else, let us know. Otherwise, happy home shopping. Bye.
Bye, guys.